Hello everyone, I'm Trina Harmon, and for over the past 15 years, I've worked as a transformational coach and energy healer, and I've been able to coach and intuitively guide thousands of people through some of the toughest times of their lives, and through the most successful seasons of their lives. And with life, sometimes we just can't even tell the difference, can we? Through all the curveballs that life can throw us and all the transitions during and in between. But one of my greatest rewards is being able to help people create the lives that they desire, but they are also purposed for. Sometimes it's beyond what they've even imagined for themselves. And I help them create this from the inside out, because it's the only way that you're going to create what you're capable of with the inner peace and happiness that you want to go along with it. You know, I remember I was one of those people. I was a professional songwriter for over 25 years and still am. And I was one of those people at the top of my career, in the peak of my success so far. I was so overwhelmed and burdened with depression, with anger, with intimidation and perfectionism, and so much pressure and stress that I was putting on myself. I wasn't able to enjoy any of it. Some of it I don't even remember. And I just remember at the time I really needed help, and it was difficult for me to find. But I finally found an intuitive coach that was able to help me. In fact, the first day, I'll never forget, she said, "You do what I do, you just don't know it yet." And I was like, no, no way. I'll never leave songwriting, the best gig in the world. But she was able to align me with something that I didn't even know was inside of me, that I didn't even know the world needed from me. And I'll tell you what, I've never went without a coach since. And you know what, I just think is so unfair, and it really hurts my heart when I meet people that are a lot like me, and they have all of this potential and capability within them, either for, great relationship, or their entrepreneur skills, or they're a spiritual healer, or just an incredible artist, but they're just not aligning with their true power in life. And I think it's so unfair when maybe you're in a position where you can't afford a coach like me, or maybe your schedule just won't allow it. So I wanted to create an online coaching membership site like Soul Family. And the reason why I created Soul Family was so that you could have time with someone like me. You could just come hang with me for a while. Ask me questions. Ask me questions right when you're in the moment of something, right when it's burning inside of your mind, or maybe you can't make a really powerful decision without, just getting some mentorship, some guidance, some intuitive guidance that is your soul's truth, not anyone else's. And I wanted to create a way that you could get this day or night, and an affordable way as well. So that's what Soul Family is. You're going to be able to spend at least 2 different times of the month with me, just in live Q&A sessions alone, where you can ask me anything about any topic. And I do try and answer everybody's questions through those. If they don't get answered in those live Q&As, I answer them all throughout the month in our Facebook group. And then another thing that I offer is a series of coaching sessions every month. They're on all different topics, everything from relationships, codependency, communication, boundaries, everything we need to know to be great at love, and as well as self-esteem and tools for empathic people, really sensitive people to the world, helping people step into their gifts, your true purpose in life. How do you connect with your calling? How do you create your own spiritual practice, especially when you may have been damaged or hurt by a religious organization or someone who represented God to you? These are just all the life topics that I think we all kind of struggle with sometimes. That's what we're going to cover. Anything you want, actually. And the other thing that I do throughout the month is I'm going to help you with a spiritual practice and a self-care routine that's not even so routine. I'm just going to give you ideas and thoughts and challenges, and just to keep it consistent and fun for you, where you can just create what works for you. And then my favorite part, well, it's all my favorite, but one of my most favorite parts of Soul Family is the community. I always felt a little alone and kind of on my own in my spiritual journey. And I would try and go find groups of people that were like-minded that I could fit into. And I always just felt sometimes a sense of just discomfort. And, sometimes when we are on a spiritual journey or we're evolving ourselves, it does require a little bit of aloneness for a little bit. Sometimes to pioneer something new as an artist or as a creative or as an innovator, you're going to be spending a little time alone. But there's no reason why you have to do it on your own. And so in the soul family, you're going to have this sacred community that's there going through the hills and valleys with you, supporting you, learning from you, and people that you can learn from. And I'm also creating a way in that community where you can share your creative projects that you're working on and the services that you're offering, or the upcoming events that you have in your own city, so that your own soul family where you live can come and meet up with you, and you can join together. So if this is something that you've been thinking about or wanting, or maybe just you don't even know if you want it, you've never coached before. I grew up in this small little town in Kansas where the idea of therapy was for people who were really messed up. And a therapist was at least an hour and a half away from my little small town. So it was a real investment. You had to be really super messed up or super bad in a bad way to drive an hour and a half, 3 hours round trip every week to go see a therapist. So maybe you don't even know what it's about. Maybe you have an opinion about it. But, every successful person I know, and not just people who have outer success like fame and money and businesses, but people who truly have that inner light, and they really have it all. They're able to balance their life. You know what? They have coaches. They have spiritual guides. They have mentors. And I was always so envious of that I just became one. I was so envious of a spiritual community that I just created one. And it is so special. And so if this feels like something that you would resonate with, you have nothing to lose. Come join us for just a month even and try it out. Come meet me and share your story with me. And, we're all just becoming great at love and great at this life thing together.